Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Long, and I am coming to you today from my house. My family and I are quarantining because we were exposed to COVID, so we're following all the CDC and the doctor guidelines and the health department and all that. So we are quarantining right now. Miss Jill did a wonderful video for us of a tour of the school, and then I'm going to give you this video, and this one is mainly created for the parents so that I can give you lots of information, and then we'll have a Zoom call that you can ask questions on. And I teach 3 different classes at the school, so I don't want to tell you exactly when your Zoom call is, but I will post that on Blooms so that everyone knows when they can do that, and our meeting ID and password. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to kind of break this down into different categories. Please write down any questions that you have. If those questions are something you think everybody may have, you can save them for our Zoom meeting. If it's something more personal to your child or you prefer to ask me separately, please feel free to email me, text me, call me, any of those ways. I will get back with you as soon as I can. So, first thing I'm going to talk about is Blooms. Blooms is our app that we do all of our communication with. Every Sunday, I will post a newsletter on Blooms. It posts right about 8 o'clock in the morning. I schedule it ahead of time, so I'm not doing it right then. But you will get that every Sunday morning, and I really hope that you will all read it. That newsletter will have information in it about the songs we're singing in class and links to those songs, about the books that we're reading and that the kids are really loving, activities that we're doing, things that you can do at home with your child, anything that's coming up for that next week you need to be aware of. So that newsletter is really going to tell you what is going on in class. I try to make it short and concise and all the information you need to know, but I want you to know what's going on in class, and I realize 3-year-olds can't tell you all the things that we're working on. I'll put in there questions you might ask your child of things that they're learning that you may not have even known that they learned. So it's a good way for you to keep in touch with what they're doing in the classroom. The other thing about Blooms is that it is our way of communicating with the entire school at once. So, for example, if we ever have any type of reason we have to shut the school down, last year we had a construction team that was outside the school working on the roads in Sellersburg, and they hit a water main. It shut down all the water to our building. We had no ability to flush our toilets. The drinking fountains weren't working. The sinks weren't working. So we had to close for the rest of the day. The only way we really have to get that word out to everybody at once is to use Blooms. So it's very important that you check it. You can set that up. There's a notification portion that you can set that up and have it come to you as a text so that you get that information right away. If we ever send out anything as an emergency situation, it will be sent out as an alert, which will automatically go as a text to everyone's phone. But that's also really important for people who may be doing pickup or drop off of your child. So if you have a grandma or grandpa that is doing that, it's nice for them to be on Blooms as well, not just so they know what's going on at school, but if we ever have to notify them in a mass kind of way to let everybody know something. If you have someone that you would like added to our Blooms class, please just send me that. You can text me, email me, call me, and I'll make sure they're added to the correct class so that they get information for that. Another part about communication that's really important is that you put my phone number in your phone and that you list it like as your child's teacher. Many of you have sent me a picture of your family that I have put in my phone, so I know if you're calling me who it is, and that I've sent a picture back. So if I'm calling you from school, it's because I really need to talk to you. We've had something happen. I've had children before, who've gotten very sick at school, and we needed you to come right away. So we won't call you if they have a potty accident or anything like that. We will change them out. But if there's a situation which we need to get a hold of you, I will call you from school. So it's very important that you have my number in your phone and it just doesn't pop up as a random number. I will post that below this video so that you can put that in your phone, and that will help with communication as well. If you ever have something you'd like to talk to me about, please let me know. During drop-off and pickup time at school is really not a very good time to talk with me, because Jill and I are really focusing on your children and making sure that they're doing well and that they're safe and that they're going with the right people. So that's kind of a hectic time for us. So if you have a note, or if you have something you need to tell me that's just, hey, I'm picking him up for a dentist appointment or whatever, please either text me that, put it in a Post-it note, and put it in your child's folder, anything like that. But please don't just tell me that right when you're dropping them off or picking them up, because it's just too much for me to remember with all that's going on right then. So, but if you do need to talk to me, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and we can even set up a time to meet if you would prefer that. So that's kind of in a nutshell about communication. And now I'm going to talk to you about the first day of school. It is an exciting time. I know it can be a little bit scary for parents and even for kiddos, but I'm going to give you some tips and some things that may help you along the way. So first of all, some things you can do to help your child at school and get ready for school is to build confidence. So tell them how exciting it's going to be. Tell them how much fun they're going to have. If you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling scared, try not to talk on the phone with them or around them so that they might hear that, because they really do pick up on that, and they kind of feel that coming from you. So just try to exude confidence in them, what a big boy and girl they are, those kind of things. Also, make sure they're dressed in clothes that are very easy for them to feel independent in. So when they go into the restroom, just a simple pair of like elastic shorts that go up and down are perfect. Please be aware that Miss Jill and I take the kiddos into the restroom, so we typically have about half the class with us, so that's 8 students. Anything that's hard for them to do in the restroom is also difficult for us, because we're trying to deal with so many kiddos. So, try not to put them in a romper that has the buttons in the back, or belts and loops and ties and all that kind of stuff. That makes it difficult. Dress girls, I know little girls love to wear dresses. Just be careful that it's not so big and bulky that it's hard for them to lift up, because when they sit on the potty, they'll have to do that on their own. I won't be able to hold that up for them. So just make sure you dress them in things that are very simple and easy for them to maintain on their own. The other thing we ask is that they always wear tennis shoes to school. And you can blame Mrs. Long for this one. I know a lot of times they want to wear flip-flops or rain boots or Crocs or whatever they have. But we really want them to wear tennis shoes when they come to school. We are very active at school. We sing, we dance, we climb, we do an obstacle course, we play on the playground. So there's lots of opportunities for their shoes to fall off, for somebody to step on the back of their shoe and come off. On the playground, it's got mulch down, so the kids that wear sandals, they get mulch in there, and then they sit and don't get to play as much because they're constantly picking out the mulch. So tennis shoes are what we ask for you to wear to school. You would not believe the amount of shoe issues we have in the 3-year-old classroom. So a good fitting tennis shoe is perfect to wear to school, and that will help them a lot as well. We also ask that they don't wear a lot of accessories. I know people love to wear necklaces and watches and all that kind of stuff, but at school that just kind of becomes a distraction for them. So as simple as it can be tends to be better in our classroom. I will ask each family to put a change of clothes into like a large Ziploc bag and put that down into their backpack. We do have accidents at school. If they have a potty accident, even if they spill water on themselves or get a lot of pain on themselves or something that upsets them like that, we will change out their clothes. So in that Ziploc bag, make sure you put like a pair of shorts, a pair of underwear, a new shirt, and a pair of socks, because if they go potty, a lot of times their socks get wet. So all those things in a Ziploc bag, and you can just put that down in their backpack. You can leave it alone and leave it in there each day. If we do have to change them out, we'll just put their dirty clothes in that Ziploc bag and zip it up. I I will try to remember to text you, but you'll probably also see them come home in different clothes, so you'll know that. But we will change them out if they have any accidents at school. Now, talking about bathrooms and accidents and that kind of thing, we know a lot of your kiddos are just freshly potty trained, and they're learning how to do it all on their own. Now, we are at school for 3 hours, in a section for 3 hours, whether it's in the morning or the afternoon, and we do go to the restroom 2 times during that 3-hour window. During that time when we go to the restroom as a group, we have 2 rules. We all try to go potty and we all wash our hands. So a lot of kids at the beginning of the year, they'll say, oh, I don't have to go, but we always ask them to try and we always wash their hands. So that kind of helps with the accidents, because once you go 2 times in a matter of 3 hours, usually we don't have as many accidents. But if we do see them doing the potty dance, and we notice that they need to go, we will also take them out to the small bathrooms right next to our classroom. But accidents do happen, and we know that, and we'll switch them out and put them in those clean clothes that are in their backpack if that happens. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about what else you can do on the first day of school. So simple clothes, building that confidence for them, good pair of tennis shoes, putting extra clothes in their backpack. Now, the first day of school, you come to school, you're going to come to door C, which is where Miss Jill showed you on the video, and you're going to wait out there. We're going to come right before class starts. Jill and I are going to come outside. We ask you to stay socially distanced and with your child, but with our class. And I'll ask you to hold on to their hand. We'll come and we'll take each of their temperatures. Assuming that everybody has a good temperature, we're going to take them all inside together. And one of the questions I always get is, what am I going to do if my child cries? And a couple things about that. One, they will do much better if they're standing on their own and holding your hand instead of you holding them. Because once you hold them, they start to grab a hold of you. But, we're trying to convince them that they are big boys and girls, and standing on their own is a really good thing for them to do. So hold their hand, but have them stand on their own. Have them put their backpack on by them, holding their own backpack instead of you holding it for them. Those kind of things help create independence. And then when we get ready to go inside, we will take everybody inside. We will take them to their cubbies to hang up their backpacks, and then take them into the classroom to wash their hands. And if your child starts to cry, we know that is very difficult on parents as well as kiddos. What we will do is we will kind of take them from you and we'll hurry them into the school. We'll get them settled, get them in the classroom. And typically there is tons to do in the classroom. Lots of activities. We don't do anything for very long, so there's not a lot of time that they would start to get sad again. We will do our best to distract them, to comfort them, to love on them. We will also send you a picture as soon as they have calmed down. So if you leave them and they're crying, I will take a picture and I will text it to you as soon as they have calmed down. Now, that usually most parents tell me that they got that picture before they even left the parking lot. Most kiddos don't cry as much for us as they do for you. So I know crying is so hard, but on those first few days, it's just really important that they go on and walk in the school, even if they're crying, and we will help them have fun, and we will let you know how they're doing. During the first few weeks of school, Miss Jill and I will be posting lots of videos and pictures to Blooms. We'll be doing that while the children are in the classroom. And so that takes a little bit of time for us to get that out there, but we know it's important for you to see them on those first few weeks of school while they're in the classroom. So we'll show you those. And then after about 2 weeks, those pictures and videos that we post, we'll post them after class, just because we don't want to take our time all year during class. But we will be posting those later in that day so that you can see any pictures or videos that were taken that day at school. All right, so you're going to park by door C, walk your child up. Miss Jill and I are going to take them in the building, and we are going to have a great time at school. We are going to be working on fine motor skills, which means building our fingers so that they're stronger. We're going to be working on listening skills. We're going to have lots of fun. We're going to do a lot of gross motor activities, which are using our arms and our legs and our big muscles. Every day, your child will go through an obstacle course, which is designed to help with something called vestibular learning, and that has to do with your right and your left brain working together. And there's lots of studies that show that that helps a child learn to read. So everything we do in class, there's a lot of things behind it that happen that we're trying to get in with your child for learning. So I also wanted to talk to you about a few other things that are going to go on at school. One thing that we do each week is we do show and tell. And it is a very fun time. The kids love it. It helps to build confidence. We talk about being respectful when someone else is talking. It helps with speech. It just is really a great activity for them. So every week on the second day of school for the week, your child will have a show and tell. So if your child comes to school on Monday, we'll send a brown paper bag home, and on Wednesday, they need to return that to school, and they will have show and tell. Now, on the outside of that bag, we'll have either a little slip of paper telling what they need to put in that bag, or it will have a letter, because during the most of the school year, we'll be doing something that starts with the letter A, or something that starts with the letter C, or those kind of things. So the very first show and tell is going to be something your child loves about the summer, did this summer, or would like to share with the class about the summer. So anything your child wants to bring in, we want it to fit inside that brown paper bag, because we have a lot of fun making sure that it's a secret and we don't tell other people until it's their time for show and tell. So try to make sure it fits down in that bag. Make sure they bring their show and tell in each week. And that's kind of really our only homework that we have in preschool at this age. So that's a good thing to do. As the school year goes on, you'll start to see from the videos and things that we're doing in classroom that we are learning the letters and the sounds that they make. So for example, when it is the letter A for show and tell, we will talk a lot about that Allie the alligator A says ah, ah, ah. So we'll have you find something around your house that starts with the letter A, and we'd like that to be something you and your child do together. So if they pick up a banana and say, oh, here's a banana, can I bring that? You can say, does ba, ba, ba start with that sound, with the A sound, and then we'll talk about those sounds. So you'll be amazed at how quickly they start to learn, wow, that's this sound and not that sound. So it's a great activity that you can do with your child each week, and we have a lot of fun in class, and there's a lot of lessons that come during our show and tell time. So that will be something we do each week. So just look inside your child's folder, and that sack will be there for them. And I'll also put a little reminder in our newsletter each week. All right, we're also going to talk a little bit about snacks and birthday treats. You received a snack calendar on back to school at the drive-up drop-off night, and your child will bring snacks to school in kind of a rotating fashion with everyone else in their class. When they do that, we ask them to bring some healthy snacks. We did list those on the back of the snack calendar, and they're also posted in blooms. We just don't want you to bring cookies or Little Debbie's or those kind of things for our regular snacks during the day. Those we'd like to be something like cheese sticks or yogurt or graham crackers, goldfish, things that would be a little bit more healthy. This year we are asking for those things to all be sealed from the store. Now, one thing people might ask is, if I want to bring goldfish, do I need to get the individual little bags of goldfish? No, but if you're going to bring goldfish, some people buy those big boxes, which is fine, or a couple little bags are plenty for our class. Just make sure those bags are sealed, and then Miss Jill can put those into little cups for the kiddos. So that's all we mean by sealed. They don't have to all be individually packaged. For birthdays, we love to celebrate birthdays at school. Just let me know if you want to celebrate your child's birthday, and we usually take the last 15 minutes to sing to them and for them to share a birthday treat with us. And there are some things they can bring in for birthday treats listed: cookies, Rice Krispie treats, brownies. The only thing we ask is that you think about the mess that it creates, because if you have 16 3-year-olds eating cupcakes, those get really messy, so we ask for no cupcakes. And we also, the little Loft House cookies that have the icing on top, which are super yummy, we ask for you not to send those in, because those both make quite a mess and it's a lot to clean up. So, but we love to celebrate birthdays, and just let us know if you would like to send that in. All right, let's see. The last two things I want to talk about, I do want to talk briefly about tuition. For the 3-year-old class, our tuition is $160 a month. That is a total sum broken up over 9 months. I know we don't go to school the same amount of days in each month, so we go to school a lot longer, or a lot more days in February than we do in December, but every month has the same tuition, and it's just that way to make it more simple for keeping track of, for parents, for us when we're keeping track of the tuition. That will be due the first of each month. The amount that you paid at our drive-up drop-off, that is the September tuition. So we won't have tuition due again till October 1st. And then we will send home a little tuition reminder envelope, and you can just slide that check or cash down inside of there, put it in your child's folder, and we will get that at school. If you do send cash in, we will send you home a receipt. If you send a check in, that cash check will be your receipt. We do have the ability to do automatic withdrawal through your checking account, and that form was sent home at drive-up drop-off if you'd like to do that to make it simpler for you. Or you can pay on our website if you choose. There is a percentage fee. It's about 3%. So I think it turns out to be $165 or $166 if you pay through the website, because they do take a processing fee out. So those are all the ways that you can pay tuition. If you have any questions about that, you can ask me or Miss Jill. And the very last thing I wanted to talk to you about is just creating a routine for your child. I know when my kids were young, it was tough. Routines can be really tough to establish. And also, if you haven't gotten them started, it feels like it's hard to get going. But at the start of a school year is a great time to start new routines. At the age of 3 and 4, most doctors say children need to sleep between 10 to 12 hours a night. So if your child's not getting that much sleep, now's a good time to say your brain will grow stronger and all that kind of stuff if you get a little more sleep. I know some kids are probably at the process of giving up naps and then going to bed a little bit earlier. So all that is really important, to get a good night's sleep before they come to school, and also to eat a good meal before they come to school. Sometimes our afternoon kids come in and they tell me they haven't eaten lunch yet, and then they don't get picked up till 2:30, and they might not have even had breakfast. So they just have a small snack. They don't have a lot to eat. So please make sure they eat before they come to school, because otherwise their tummies start to rumble, and then they're hungry, and we just want them to have a good amount in their tummy so that they can be ready for school. The other thing that is great to get into a routine of is just reading to your child at night. It's a good way to end the day. It's a good way to kind of shut down before bedtime. We will send home a reading log to kind of encourage that. And if you read a book with your child, they can color in that little activity square that they've finished that. And when you finish that month, you can send it back into us for a little treat that we'll send home for them. But we just want you to know we are so excited to get this school year started. We know it's going to look a little bit different, and we are going to do everything we can to keep your child and your family safe, but to also have a wonderful preschool year. I love the 3-year-olds. I love to see their heads and their brains getting all that information in there. They're like sponges. We have lots of fun at school, and I look forward to seeing you. I will post this on Blooms, and if you have questions, we can go over them, or feel free to send them to me separately. And I look forward to seeing all of you soon. Bye-bye.